looks like the French team is having the kickoff. Is that correct, Carol?
Yeah, that's correct. They're kicking off any second now, and that means after halftime the Swiss team will kick off the second half.
Carol, please tell me, for everyone listening, what is the technical advantage of having the kickoff?
Actually, it depends. Some teams like to kick off because they can control their kick and know exactly where it lands, but some teams prefer to catch the ball, catch the kickoff, because then they have ball possession right away. But as you might see in this game right now, the French team already took ball possession, so it was good for them to kick off.
But so catching the kickoff doesn't actually mean that you get a technical advantage right away, right? Because as I saw it, the Swiss team caught the ball.
Yeah, it doesn't always mean that you have an advantage. It depends what you do with it.
Oh, what are we seeing here right now? Looks like we're in danger of the French team getting a try already.
Yes, that went super quick, and the French army team is already near our dangerous try zone. So I hope they're not gonna land in there.
Was that a foul right there? I don't know.
It was an offside mistake from the Swiss team, so that means the French get a penalty.
Okay, that is looking very intense. How do penalties work? I heard about penalty kicks that are given to the teams.
Yeah, it depends. You can choose if you get a penalty if you kick or if you play the ball. The French team is kicking it out now, so they can do a line out from the sideline. They can reorganize their game, they can reorganize their attack, and because they're just a couple meters from the try zone, it makes sense to choose here the line out.
The line outs are these very impressive movement things where players are lifted out, as we saw right now, right?
And just on this now, the French team just messed up their line out, so the Swiss team could steal it, but then falling down from catching the ball, they knocked it on, so it's unfortunately a French scrum.
And here we have our first scrum, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, what can you tell us about being in a scrum?
Being in a scrum, you need a really strong body position. You have to go low and keep your back straight to push the opposition away from the ball.
Oh, this is looking dangerous right now.
Yeah, the French are really, really close to scoring, so the Swiss have to defend really hard at the moment. Another penalty for the French team.
What are we seeing here right now, Cameron?
The French team is playing the penalty close to the line. They're really, really, really close from scoring. They're over the line. But what did very good defense of Switzerland. They were able to hold the ball up. That means it's no try. It's another scrum for the French army team.
It's quite dangerous though. So many scrums close to the try zone, isn't it?
Yeah, the Swiss need to regain ball possession and kick the ball out of this dangerous zone.
Let's hope they have this chance now.
We'll see what they make out of it. Oh, actually that was very good. The Swiss team was able to turn the scrum. That means they wheeled it around, so now it's Swiss scrum, Swiss ball, and hopefully they can get out of the danger zone.
So we see them regrouping right now. And here we go again.
The French team stole the ball. Dangerous again for Switzerland actually. The French have the ball. But some all errors, the Swiss could regain ball possession. Now it's a red ball.
What does a red ball mean, Carol?
That means nothing, just red ball because the red team has the ball.
Oh, alright, thank you. Very intense right there.
But it's good, if you see they're getting a bit away, now they have the kick.
Alright, this went out of bounds though. didn't it?
Yeah, usually if you're in your own 22, that means under pressure, really close to the try zone, you try to kick it out. Actually, you would try to kick it out a bit farther than the Swiss did right now, but to get some space away from the try zone. So it's the ball again for the French army team, and let's see if they can score now. Oh, the Swiss team stole the line out again, so it's Swiss ball.
And away the ball flies. Was that what you meant before?
Yeah, but unfortunately the ball didn't go out all the way, but it was a good kick.
As of right now, it is in French possession. Again, getting rather close to the try zone, isn't it?
Yeah, still in the Swiss 22, the French are attacking our line. They're really testing the Swiss defense, but so far the Swiss are holding up against the French, so hopefully they can steal the ball back.
Again, we're getting closer and closer to the try zone. It looks really close from here, but it's actually not that much, is it? Oh well.
Yeah, now it's getting dangerous. Oh, good tackle. They're just about a meter away with the ball from the try line.
And the French regained ball possession.
Ah, good. So the Swiss defended again, really good in the danger zone, and it means it's Swiss ball right now. So hopefully now they can get out of it. Let's cross our fingers that the kick will go far enough that they are a bit out of danger.
But that's looking. Is it normal that it looks a bit like a scrum formation right now, and not another kick? Is that right? Do I see that right?
Yeah, it was a knock-on from the French army team, so that means every time someone knocks the ball forward, it's a scrum. Unfortunately, the French team won the scrum, so we lost possession. The Swiss ones are defending again. Oh, and now the try. After a lot of attacks, the French army team was able to make the first 5 points.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're in 5 minutes into the game, and the French military army team has managed their first try. Congratulations! The Swiss team is putting up a good fight so far, so let's see where this is going to take us.
So now, because they scored, they will be able to do a conversion kick. This means if they make the kick over the posts, they get another 2 extra points. So let's see if the French can do that kick. What I saw during warm-up, they're pretty good kickers on the French army team, so we will see what they make out of it.
So, Carol, just to recap again, a conversion and a try together mean that you get 7 points out of it, as a try means 5 points for the team. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So it's actually important where you put the try down. If it's closer to the middle, you can afterwards kick closer to the middle, so it's easier for the kicker. This try now, however, by the French team was quite far from the side. So if you look now where she kicks from, it's really far on the left side from the posts.
And there the kick goes. Did that cross?
Oh, it just crossed, so they get the 2 extra points.
Lot of luck we got there, but looks like everyone's in really good shape. Very promising match. We're at 7 points for the French army team, and here we go. Does the Swiss team get the ball now after conversion?
Yes, after a try, the other team can kick off, so this means the Swiss team can kick off. Happening right now, it's a good kickoff, far and quite high. The French military is attacking with a strong runner, their flanker number 6.
And there went a pace back, and
the French just did a miss pass, but it didn't go forward. Oh, it did go forward, so it's Swiss ball, and they're actually now in their other half. They're in the French half, so the Swiss team is getting closer to the French try zone. Not that close yet, but at least they're playing now in the other half of the pitch.
Well, it's a steady movement, isn't it?
Yeah.
That already means quite a bit.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, in Switzerland we don't get a lot of practice like in France, not a lot of teams to play against. So every time we play with the national team, it's a stronger opposition than we're used to. So sometimes they have to adjust the pressure from the opposition.
They're doing really good right now, though, aren't they? You said their defense is strong.
Their defense is strong, and now they're starting to attack. They gained the penalty, so it looks like they might go for a kick.
It's actually quite a lot of let us put it in brackets mistakes, but not really. I mean, we're used to penalties being called in football a lot less often, but it doesn't seem to be a negative thing here, does it?
No, in soccer, a penalty is a much bigger punishment. In rugby, already little mistakes are penalties, and it just means you get the ball and the opposition has to go at least 10 meters away from you, so you get a bit of space and you can choose between a kick or between playing the penalty. So a penalty doesn't always mean, like in soccer, like you can score a goal every time, and it's in soccer it's usually a point, so you can compare it directly to soccer.
That's a good thing to know. Oh, and there we go, a penalty kick for penalty kick for the Swiss team. What was
so it was actually a good kick, the right direction, but it wasn't high and far enough, unfortunately, so she didn't make it. If it would have been over the post, they could have gained 3 points.
And they're down and grappling for ball possession. French are back on.
Yeah, the French are attacking again, but it's in the middle of the pitch, not too dangerous at the moment. Another penalty for Switzerland because the French team dived into the rock. That means they went in with their hands first, diving down into the ground. They have to stay on their feet on a rock. So it's actually good. Switzerland has the penalty. They can kick it out and they can get their own line out nearer to the try. So it looks like Switzerland got over the shock from the first 5 minutes, and they're starting to take over a bit of control here.
Well, 5 minutes are just the beginning of a 40, right?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time for both teams to warm up and to give each other the best.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you need a bit of time to get into the game. Unfortunately, it would be good to get in from the first second, but let's see if they can use now the positive side they took out of it. It looks like they're starting to really fight for it.
And here we go. This is the first Swiss line out, isn't it?
Exactly. We have number 1 throwing the ball in. Jumper in the front row. The French knocked the ball on, so it's Swiss advantage. He just blew his whistle. Swiss scrum, because the French knocked the ball on in the Swiss line out. So on both teams we have quite experienced players. On the Swiss team, some people play since a long time in Switzerland. On the French side, we have actually 10 girls who play in the top 8 teams in France, which is in France the league is much higher, so they have some quite strong players as well.
So it's certainly a very if Switzerland can play on even grounds with France for a moment, I suppose it's a very, very good sign already.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell because we don't know much about the French army because it's not their national team, like the Swiss national team, but we do know they have 10 players from the top league, so this is already really good for the Swiss team. The Swiss are still advancing with the ball, getting closer and closer, and now it's a penalty for the Swiss because the French were offside. The Swiss played quick, as you see, because they want to be on the French team, and they have advantage again because the French weren't 10 meters back. Now the Switzerland is getting really close, and they have another penalty.
And the crowd is really excited right here. Well, it is the national team playing, right?
Yeah, actually I'm also really excited. I want to be down there.
Do you have have a long time to sit out, Carol?
No, just a couple more weeks. It was just a small injury, so but I'm a bit gutted to miss exactly the national match.
I hope it passes quickly these few weeks.
So now the Swiss kick their penalty out, and they're just 2 meters before the try zone. Really good move of the Swiss team. Now they can go for it.
The French ladies have to keep themselves on the ball of the feet if they want to make sure that Swiss don't score right now, right?
Yeah, actually now it's all about this line-up. I hope the Swiss win the line-out. Looks good. It's Swiss line-out. They're advancing with the forwards. Big fight near the try zone. Let's keep possession, stay in the pitch. Good stuff, Switzerland. The French are also defending quite well. Now I think the Swiss should take the ball out and play it out wide. Yeah, I see the ball there on the ground. And the Swiss backs are ready. The forwards take it again. Oh, another penalty for Switzerland.
Carol, you mentioned they have to stay in the pitch. What does exactly happen?
Yeah, if you run out of the pitch, the other team gets the ball. So it's important that they don't lose the ball at this close part of the game. A big handoff from a Swiss player. Unfortunately, she lost the ball in contact. So the French army team regained ball possession. Switzerland has to go back 10 meters, penalty for France. Oh, that's a shame. They were really close to scoring right there before.
Hang in there, ladies. You can do it. But France is doing a really good job of defending too. We have 2 good defense teams here, don't we?
Yeah, and always when we play French sides, they're actually quite good in contact. They're used to hard contact. They're good tacklers, good in rocking and mauling. So they're usually really physical players.
What are we seeing right here, right now? I'm sorry.
The French army team, they kicked the ball out again, the penalty ball, so it means it's their line out now, still in their own half, so I hope the Swiss team can get the ball back on their side.
And there we go, it's Swiss ball possession, isn't it?
Yeah, they won over the line out, really good job actually, so they're back on attack. Really good dummy from Estidus on number 10. Pass out to the backs, but there wasn't anyone there. It's still Swiss ball, but they're closer again in their own half, so they, the number 9 kicked the ball. Little box kick over the French team. French runner getting tackled by Switzerland. The Swiss defense line is really organized at the moment. Let's hope it stays. A little kick, oh, by the French team, dangerous, dangerous. But the Swiss winger got the ball. She needs support there, yeah.
It actually always looks very disorganized and brutal, but I heard a lot of those tackles are restricted by very harsh rules, so you get penalties for the opposite team really quickly if you don't tackle precisely and according to rules. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, oh, dangerous breakthrough by another score for the French army team. Back to the tackles, yeah, from the outside actually contact situations do look a bit confusing and sometimes like there are no rules to it, but there are a lot of rules to it, and if you start to understand the rules, you can see it better in the game. For example, because in rugby you don't wear full protection, you usually wear a mouth guard, sometimes a scrum cap or shoulder pads. That means your whole body is there to be tackled, so there are strong rules that you can't tackle above the shoulders, you have to tackle low, you have to tackle with your shoulder, you can't just lift somebody up and smash her into the ground. So actually the contact is regulated well, that if you do contact correctly, it's not a dangerous sport. Of course stuff can happen, but if you do it correctly it's quite good. And even though sometimes it looks like a lot of people are gathering together in a big pile. It's not like that. It's usually part of the play.
Oh wow, this is a really nice position for their conversion right now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I meant before. Now the try was right in the middle between the posts, so it's an easier kick than from the side. And they converted the ball, so this makes 14 points for the French Army team.
And back we are with a Swiss kickoff, right?
Yes, now it's next Swiss kickoff. Let's hope they start now regaining more ball possession and can do something with it in the French zone.
And off the ball goes. This French ball possession right now.
Yeah, the French didn't catch it immediately, but because the ball bounced backwards, it's still their ball. It didn't go forward. Another high kick like before. Yes, the Swiss wing on the right side caught the ball. So it's Swiss ball possession. Here our captain, number 8, just brought the ball a couple meters forward.
This is a tactical move, isn't it? This slow progression, like seemingly slow progression we have here.
Yeah, so usually you try to go in a bit near the contact zone again and again in a slow way kind of. So the defending team has to put more people into defense at the spot where the ball is, so afterwards you have more space out wide, and then they want to attack when there is the space out, so they want to try to pull the defense into one place. And now the Swiss team had another penalty, they kicked it out, so it's their line out and they're getting closer to the scoring zone again. Katja's doing the line-out throw. Swiss ball. Oh no, advantage for the French team. It was a little knock-on. So the French have the next scrum.
But please tell me, Carol, isn't the purpose of the scrum that both teams get to fight for ball possession now? So, and what does it mean if a team has a scrum?
Oh, actually, a little correction. They have a line-out, but it looks like the ball went out. The scrum, the advantage is if it's your scrum that your player can put the ball in, and so you get a slightly advantage by when to push for the ball, when to fight for it, and also they're supposed to put it in straight, but usually it's a little bit to their side. So each team has a little advantage when it's their scrum.
Was this an out ball?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a line out for the Army team because the Swiss team brought the ball out of the pitch. The French are still advancing with the forwards with the ball. And now one of them broke through. Good tackle by Zelle. Oh, it looks like the Swiss team was able to steal the ball. I'm not sure. Oh no, it's still blue ball.
Very, very intense game we got here.
Yeah. Ooh, miss pass.
It's a chance to regroup then. But everyone is really far away from that point, so it's a bit dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah. So there, if it's out in space and someone has the ball and is a quick runner, it's dangerous for the other team. So I'm glad that nobody broke through over there. Penalty for the French Army team because someone pulled someone over the rock. So the ref let them play advantage, but now he takes the ball back to the penalty because they couldn't use the advantage. Looks like they're going to kick the ball out for another line out.
The ball actually came back really nicely there. Actually, it seems to like it wants to stay in the pitch.
Yeah, it bounced back in. So now they have a line out. Let's see what they do with it. You can tell that the French army team has a lot of experience. Their passes are really far. They're in the standard situations like lineouts and scrums. They are quite strong. I hope so. The Swiss can match up to it. Good. The Swiss number 11 was able to tackle the French number 15, the fullback, out of the pitch. So now it's Swiss ball again. Oh, a Swiss player is on the ground, number 12. She's the outside centre, Rahel, very experienced player. I hope she can stay on the pitch because she's really strong in the backs.
Looking dire over there. Let's hope it's really not much of a big injury right there.
I think it's not too bad because she's still like talking and stuff, just holding her head. Maybe she has a little, she got a little hit in the head or something. So I think she will be alright. Like I know her, she will be back up.
We're having a small pause out of first aid reasons right here. So far, how is it looking, Carol?
Well, actually, the French army team are putting a lot of pressure on the Swiss. They're up by 2 tries and 2 conversions. It looks like if they get a chance to score, they make it. The Swiss already had a couple of chances really close to the try zone from the army team, but they weren't able to use them yet, so let's hope they can do that soon. Oh, it looks like number 12 from Switzerland had to go off the pitch, so maybe it was a bit bigger than I thought.
We're continuing with the line out
for Switzerland, but the French stole the line out and it's French ball. So the Swiss put their one wing on the outside centre and Ramona, who was substitute, is now on the other wing. Very good. Kiri from Switzerland the hooker was able to steal the ball from France. But for diving into the rock, France gets another penalty. It's a bit messy at the moment, penalties from both sides. I hope the Swiss team can sort it out, that they don't get so many penalties.
Here we have another line out, this time a French one. Getting closer and closer to the try zone. There's quite a suspense on the team, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually at the moment again pressure on the Swiss team because it's a dangerous zone. The French team is really close to the scoring line. They're putting up a big mold together as a team, pressuring with the forwards, and they're getting closer and closer to the line. The ball is going out wide. A huge overlap for the French army team. Nothing the Swiss wing could have done out there. She was on her own. The Swiss need to shift really quickly to defend the whole back line. Now that's exactly what the French team did, what I told you before. They got the defense bunched in one big pile on the one side, and then they played it out wide and created an overlap so they could just run through outside.
You told me the French team is not only an experienced team but also a physically strong one. So that's something the Swiss team has to pay attention to, because for one side they can't just use less people to defend big attacks from many players at the same time, but on the other hand, it's hard not to leave the wing players alone, isn't it?
Yeah, so that means the Swiss team has to organize a bit better and a bit quicker, that they know if they need many people into defense, that the others that are not in move quick out to defend the line as well. Let's see the kick now from the French team. If they make it from the side, it would be another 2 points for French Army. They didn't make that one, so it's at the moment 19 points for the French team.
We're at 29 minutes in, and it's 19-0 for the French Army team. Let's see what the Swiss ladies can do now. We still have 10 minutes to go for this half, and another half waiting.
If you look now closely, the Swiss kicked off. They went up with a line, but they seem like they're waiting a bit for the French to run at them. So I hope they come back stronger and more aggressive next time in defense, to actually run at the opposition to tackle them and not letting them run at our defending line. So hopefully, besides the score, they can get their heads up and really attack aggressively. Oh, good one. So Cynthia stole the ball. It's Swiss ball again. The Swiss were able to steal the ball. They did a nice switch move in the back there, but unfortunately they knocked the ball on. So it's French scrum, closer to the Swiss zone again.
Is everything all right? Do we have another injury here?
I think she just needs, maybe someone stepped on her hand or something. Just she was shaking her hand. But I think it will be all right. She just needs a bit of Perskindle. Yeah, she's already back.
It's good to see. Not too many injuries so far yet.
No, you know, it's also, I mean, of course it's a contact sport, so you get hit, you get some bruises, it hurts for a moment, but it's not like serious. So even sometimes if a player goes down, sometimes it's just a hard hit, they need to recover a couple minutes and then they're good again.
That's again why rules are so important to rugby, because they have to make sure that every player's welfare is still intact.
Yeah, I think in a contact sport rules are more important than ever, because if you don't play to the rules, then it gets dangerous. So it's really important that the rules are intact, and it looks like in this game the referee is doing a good job. Dangerous pass there from the French team, but they were managing to keep the ball, and now they went out of bounds, so it's Swiss line out there.
Another line out means that the ladies have time to turn the game a bit around for them. Get the ball out of the try, get the ball away from the try zone.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe they will kick it to get it away, or maybe they will play it. I don't know yet, but I hope they can win this line out. So yes, good line out. It's Swiss ball. The referee just blew his whistle. No, they didn't throw in the ball straight, so the ball goes now to the French team. Oh, so like I told you before, I wasn't sure, but now number 12 is coming back in. So it was just, I mean, it was a hard hit, probably. Maybe she was bleeding. So if you're bleeding, you can go off the pitch and get back in. It means you have to stop the bleeding, and then you're back into the game. So the girl that got on for her was just like a substitute until she can get back on. Usually if you do an official sub, you can't get back into the game. But if it's blood substitution, they call it, you can get back in. So I'm happy to see Rahel back on the center in this game. Ooh, a really big missed tackle. And the French, number 15, I think it was, is through. She went right through the gap from the Swiss defense, and I think both players weren't ready and were just thinking, well, oops, missed that one. So yeah, they really need to get it together in defense, otherwise this is going to be a hard second half.
We're about to see the next conversion. Right now it's 24-0 for the for the French Army team. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to see if that's another 2 points for them or not. We're 34 minutes into the game. There's still 6 minutes to this half and a full 40 to the next. Carol, you were saying this is a different the switch Rael went to right now is a different kind of switch than the official one. Yeah. So if you go out for to stop your bleeding or things like that, does that mean that it counts as an official switch, like one of the 8 switch places that you have?
No, if you go out when you have a bleeding injury, it's not an official substitution. So the French did not make the conversion, so it's still 24. So back to the injury. If you have a bleeding injury, you can get off the pitch and go back in, and it's not one of the 8 substitutions. And if you substitute officially, you cannot get back into the game. So if the coaches decide to take you off, you're out of the game for sure. That was a good far kickoff from Switzerland. Let's see what the French do with it.
France does have really good tacklers, you say, right? Kind of watching the game after a while, you start seeing that? Is that right?
Or you mean maybe good runners when they're attacking with the ball?
Yeah, precisely, thank you.
Yeah, they're running strong, but actually the Swiss should run a bit more up to them in defense instead of like waiting as a line. So it seems maybe they're a bit scared because the opposition already scored so many points. They should really start running up at them in defense and not wait for the French players to attack our own defending line. So yeah, but right now it's Swiss scrum and they're in the other half of the pitch. So hopefully this time, again the French stole the scrum. It looks like the French are really strong in the scrums. They already stole more than 3 times our scrum. It's still French ball. They're in advantage. Switzerland has to organize their defense line, and now they actually run up at them. That was good, and the French made a mistake. But before somebody was offside, so it's a penalty for France. The referee let them play advantage, but because they messed up now, the attack, they will have the penalty. I think she's probably going to kick it out.
As we learned by now, ladies and gentlemen, that's a smart move to do. We're getting closer to the Swiss try zone again.
Yeah, so now the French get the line out about a bit more than 20 meters from the try zone. If the Swiss cannot steal the line out, hopefully they can steal it back. We will see.
In the ball goes.
And Switzerland took the line out. Very good. Big tackle by the French team. And it's a scrum for Switzerland because in the line out the French team knocked the ball on and the referee let the Swiss play advantage again. They didn't use it, so now it's a scrum for Switzerland. Hopefully this time they can keep the ball in the scrum.
3 more minutes for Switzerland to turn things around. If not this half, then the next.
Exactly.
French Army ladies have proven to be very, very worthy opponents, though. Oops, this is...
So that was dangerous over there. The French attacked wide again, but the Swiss number 12 did a great tackle and they didn't get through. And now it's Swiss ball. Still Swiss ball. Oh, she lost the ball in contact, so it's a knock-on from Switzerland. The ref has advantage for the French team. Really nice pass out wide. French on the outside. Ooh.
Line out for France.
Yeah, that was unlucky because the French player would have lost the ball anyway out, but the Swiss tackler touched the ball a bit, so it's a line out for the French team. Again, the French team is near the Swiss try zone, dangerous zone. Again, the French number 15 fullback got through a gap, but our backup tackling system worked, so someone else in the back from Switzerland was ready to tackle her. And now this makes it a little less dangerous for Switzerland. They were able to get a penalty out of this dangerous situation, and they will probably, I guess, kick it out that far back on the pitch. The Swiss substitutes are warming up on the sideline. I think they're eager to get into this game. Oh, it looks like the Swiss team is not kicking the ball out. They're playing it, trying something new. Oh, now they're kicking. Yeah. Nice kick over. Still Swiss ball, was a knock-on by the French team. And Switzerland gets another penalty. The number 9 from Switzerland, Fabienne Ullmann, she plays for Bern. She's one of the most experienced players of the team. She's playing in the 7th and in the 15th national team.
You said so. What we're witnessing right now is a 15s match, correct? Have you played in any 7s matches before?
Yes, I also play on the 7th national team together with a bunch of players that are down there right now. The French broke through, and another try for the French side. So in Switzerland, a lot of players play 7s and 15s in women's rugby because it's quite a small rugby community. For example, in France, the national team is split up. Some 7s players just play on the 7th team, etc., etc. Some also play both, but here everybody who is able to plays both. So a bit the faster and stronger runners from the 15th team play also on the 7th team. So you see in this game when the French army team gets really close to the line, they usually go into contact a couple of times and then they play it out wide to their quick players, and they're doing a good job out wide there, testing our defense and breaking through gaps.
That's right, most of the tries happen on the left wing, correct?
Yeah, it looks like they're pulling people in right and then going to the left side. It's not an unknown rugby tactic. She missed the kick. And it looks like it's half-time, so it's 29.
29-0, we're at half-time. Please stay tuned for the next half.
On tente également de rappeler que la bulle est ouverte pour Militaire ou saucisse. Et évidemment, également la buvette, la boutique FSR. Venez découvrir les produits officiels de la Fédération Suisse de Rugby au stand FSR. Et en exclusivité, vous trouvez le maillot officiel édition limitée. Nous profitons également pour remercier DHL Express, le partenaire logistique des équipes Suisse 15 et Suisse 15 féminines. La Fédération Suisse de Rugby remercie Ecoservice, partenaire officiel des arbitres. Merci aussi à notre partenaire officiel des équipes nationales junior, Global Reach Partners, l'un des principaux fournisseurs d'opérations de change et de paiements internationaux. La Fédération Suisse de Rugby remercie son partenaire officiel Minerva Futors, qui propose des cours particuliers, des conseils d'experts éducatifs pour les familles qui souhaitent envoyer leurs enfants dans les meilleures écoles privées britanniques, mais aussi pour les meilleures universités en Grande-Bretagne et aux États-Unis. Merci enfin à Rugby, partenaire officiel équipementier de la Fédération Suisse de Rugby. Bonne mi-temps à tous, à tout de suite.
At this point, we'd also like to thank the DHL Express, logistics partner of the Swiss 15 and Swiss 15 ladies teams, and the Ecoservice official partners of the referees. The Swiss Rugby Federation also would like to thank the Global Reach partners, the official partner of the national junior team, one of the main operations of currency exchanges and payments internationally. Further, they'd like to thank Minerva Tutors that enables young people interested in pursuing their rugby careers abroad in England and the United States to do so. And finally, last but not least, a big thank goes to Allstyle, official equipment partner of the Swiss Rugby Federation. And at this point, I hope that we very shortly will have the chance to have number 15. Chris.
No, the captain. You mean Judith? The captain?
I'm sorry, we're having small technical troubles here, but we're hoping that we get very soon a small 30 seconds interview with one of the players of the Swiss team.
Yeah, for example, since a long time, number 8 is our captain Judith. I'm sure she can tell you lots of stuff about it. Or the co-captain number 9, Fabienne, both very experienced players since a long time on this team. Right now, if you look what the Swiss are doing, actually, they were getting the last information from the coaches, coming together for their cheering call, getting new energy as a team. and let's see if they can turn it around in the second half.
Let's hope for a very interesting second half, and it's looking promising for the French team as of now.
Geht das Mikro? Hallo? Es geht? Ja, ich freue mich nicht vor.
So I just look at the bench from Switzerland, and it looks like they made a change in the back. This is a really fast runner, Ramona onto the wing. They took out one of their centers, who is also a strong runner. Maybe they want to give good play by the Swiss wing, Selle.
And back with Swiss ball possession.
The French just stole the ball in a rock.
Excuses for the inconveniences, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is still the first time we're still experiencing. Oh, this is looking very, very dire for the Swiss team. And we got another French try.
Yeah, that was good play by the French player, but the Swiss, they were two in defense. The French player pretended to kick and then ran through the gap. Both Swiss players fell for it. They should have just go on and tackled. But as you see here, maybe now in this moment, the French team shows their experience to play on a high level of rugby. With little tricks, they can break through the Swiss defense. The Swiss really have to step it up now to turn this around. So the kick for the French army team, really close to the middle, they should make that easily, yeah. So it's conversion 2 points.
36-0 for the French army team.
Et c'est transformé pour la numéro 10, Claude Cassandra. Monthey vers 34, Suisse 0.
So because the Swiss team took out one of their centers, they put now their number 15 on the center, and the girl that's kicking right now, number 11, who was playing wing, is now playing fullback on position 15. The player that got on, Ramona, is playing on the other side wing. A nice little chip over by the French team, but the ball went out, so it's Swiss line out. Swiss line out, hopefully they keep the ball. Katja throwing in, the French stole it.
But we're really close to the middle line right now, so it's a dangerous zone for both teams.
Yeah, in the middle zone, it's equally for both teams. Usually the attacking team doesn't do too crazy stuff. They are going to try to get the defense in like they do right now, keep close. Try getting the Swiss players involved, and then they play it out wide. The ball being passed back by Switzerland. Swiss fullback doing a good job. The Swiss winger kicking, and now she has to chase so nobody's offside. Good chase. And tackle by number 14, Henny, who plays as well in the 7th squad.
You mentioned there are two different types of attack and defense formations, a rock and a maul. Could you explain to the audience a bit closer what the differences are exactly?
So the easiest way to remember is in a maul, everyone is on their feet, they're with the ball up, and the opposition is holding them up with the ball. So that's a maul, and you can keep pushing the maul forward, like you can push your person with the ball, and as long as you're moving forward, you don't have to play the ball. But if you stand still, the referee will say, maul is formed, play the ball, use it, and if you don't use it, then the opposition gets the ball. So you can try to grab an opposition player, hold them up for a long time, and you can win over ball possession. On the other hand, the rock is played on the ground. That means you've gone into contact, you've been tackled. From both teams is a player by the tackle situation over the ball, and that means you have to get the ball out of this situation with your feet back from the last person, and then you can play it. So the ball has to be behind the foot of the last person involved in the rock. Now is a penalty really close for the French team to score again. They played out wide, and bad pass from French, so it's advantage for Switzerland. Lucky for Switzerland, they didn't pass the ball nice, otherwise it would have been an overlap out on the right side.
I think we're seeing an exchange in the French army team. Number 21 went in.
Looks like someone from the forest is coming out from the scrum. Let's see which number. I can't right now see it. Yeah, I think they swapped a forward out of the game. You know, being up 36 points, they can really try to start to try out things, try out their game, test the Swiss a bit, because they're up quite a lot, so it's their time. Another penalty for France. They didn't play it at the right spot, so they have to replay it. Switzerland has to defend strong now, really close to their line. And the French kicked it out to have a line out just before the try zone.
Here we go, now we need a really good defense of the Swiss team, otherwise France is scoring again.
Yes.
That's what we're seeing here right now is a maul.
Yeah, it's a rolling maul. As long as they're moving forward, they're okay with it. If they would stand still, the referee would tell them to play it. It's their scrum now, about 5 meters, just about on the 5 meter line before the try zone. Still dangerous for Switzerland, but they're holding up to it. This is actually in this game, it looks like the French team is physically a bit stronger than Switzerland, and hopefully this will give the Swiss team an extra motivation to work harder in 2015 towards the European Trophy Cup in fall, that they get stronger and quicker for this important competition. Today is only a test match, but I think the Swiss team will see many things they can work on out of this. That's the positive thing, to play against a strong opposition. You find many points to work on.
Now we saw a penalty in favour of the Swiss team, correct?
Yeah, there was a penalty for the Swiss team, and the Swiss fullback just kicked it out of touch, and it's French ball because she kicked it out from play. The French played it quickly, they can play quick, they don't have to do a line out with lifting someone, they just have to throw the ball in 5 meters, and it's Swiss ball. Good run from Aida from Switzerland, and Swiss scrum, because they were playing advantage and the French knocked the ball on just a couple movements ago.
Carl used that word very often, advantage. Could you explain it a bit closer to me?
So, for example, if the Swiss team would make a mistake and the French team have the ball anyway out of that mistake, the ref doesn't blow his whistle. He doesn't want to disrupt the game if he doesn't have to. But if the French team then doesn't use it, can't use the ball or loses it again, he will blow his whistle back to the previous action and let them play the advantage or the scrum or whatever. This always is for a bit of time, and then he says advantage over, and then it's back to normal play. So it's just a couple of seconds for the advantage. He holds his arm out like you can see right now, and the Swiss couldn't use it, so it's a Swiss penalty.
And it looks like the penalty is being played as of now? Or is it
No, she just waited for the kicker. Zell is kicking the ball out. Oh, I think the ball didn't go quite where she wanted to, but it's far down the French side, so I think they're playing it. I thought they would kick it back. The Swiss are really close now to the try zone, but it's still French ball.
But this is their chance again to try to regain ball possession and make a try now.
Yes, it would be really good if they can regain the possession now. And at the moment I can't tell, the ball is there on the ground. Oh, the Swiss won it over, very good.
France is putting up a really strong fight though.
And now the French won over the ball and they kicked it far down the pitch because they were under pressure, and let's see what Switzerland does with it. Kicks it back, chase. Switzerland should organize their defending line, otherwise they're all over the place. And she's kicking it out, so it's Swiss ball. Actually, that's a good place to have the line out for Switzerland. Very nice line out by Switzerland. They tricked the French and did it wide. Ramona is one of our... Oh, she just lost the ball in contact. She's one of our quickest runners. She used to run track for Switzerland in the national team as well, and now she's playing rugby.
And now having a... am I saying that correctly? A scrum?
Yeah, it's a scrum for for the French army team, because unfortunately the Swiss player knocked the ball on in contact. She lost it and the French get ball possession.
God, that's interesting to see. What did the referee just do right now? Can you please explain it?
I didn't see his sign, but it looked like something wasn't correct in the scrum. Sometimes people are pushing too early, getting together too early, or binding not correctly. Then the ref stops the scrum and tells them to do it correctly, because also it's otherwise a dangerous situation, and it looks like they had to adjust something to make it correct. Good defense by Switzerland. They just tackled the French out of the pitch, so it's their line out again. and the French were able to steal the Swiss line out, so it's French ball. You see they have nice and crisp passes, but their runner was a bit too early, so penalty for Switzerland.
Now it's their chance to kick the ball out of the pit again, so they can get closer to the try line. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I'm not. Well, they do it. Yeah, you're correct. She's gonna kick it out for a line out. Very nice kick by Selle, number 11 from Switzerland. Switzerland makes a change. They put on their player from Monthey, number 18, Charlene, I think, or Stephanie, I'm not sure.
Well, of course, due to the location of the Swiss Rugby Day, this is a big deal.
Yeah, and actually it's her debut with the Swiss team. It's the first time she's playing for the team. She's been practicing with the national team for a while now. Last year, a couple of trainings, and now it's her first game with the national team.
And it's her first game in her hometown. That's great.
Yeah, everyone is really excited, and of course we are happy to have her on the pitch with the team. So she will already get tested now in her first scrum. And the French team also made some changes, so let's see how this develops. Very important scrum for Switzerland, close to the French try zone. The Swiss are having a bit bad day today with their passing and catching the ball. Many mistakes with knock-ons or bad passes. I hope they can sort it out for the last 25 minutes of the game.
So this means French scrum this time?
Yes, exactly. The Swiss knocked the ball on. It's French scrum. Let's see what they do with it. I think they might go for a kick, but I'm not sure. Well done. Switzerland was able to wheel the scrum around again. They turned it, and now it's their ball. So you see, actually, a standard situation like the scrum is also very tactical. If you're able to turn it to one side, even if you might not be stronger than the opposition player one-on-one, if you're able to turn it, you can win over the ball and therefore get a big chance in attacking. Good play by Switzerland. The Swiss winger going outside, tackled, but still on the ball. But the French team threw the ball out, so it's Swiss line out. They're about 20 meters away, right about on the 22-meter line, before the try zone.
Swiss ball possession again.
I told you, quick runner, she just almost was through. I thought she's through. It was actually a nice backs play by the Swiss. They seemed to sort out their passes in that one. They did a dummy pass or dummy runner first. The inside centre ran through. They passed out wide. The wing came around, but the French defence was too quick and tackled her out of the pitch just a couple meters before the try zone. Unlucky, but really good attack, dangerous from Switzerland.
Now the French have the line out to get themselves out of the danger zone again.
Yes, I think they will. They're having the ball right now. I think when they get it out of the maul, they will kick it out. So the kick didn't go so far. This is good for Switzerland. They have a line out again on the 22-meter line just before the try zone.
This is actually exactly what they had before too, just on the right side of the field, isn't it?
Yeah, and it got pretty dangerous for the French team before, so hopefully the Swiss team can now do what they wanted to do before and score. Looks like Switzerland lost the ball back to France. France kicking it. It looks like the French team has really good kickers and they like to kick the ball a lot and play with it afterwards. They couldn't get it back now, so it's Swiss line out. At this part of the pitch it's not that dangerous for the French team because it's in the Swiss half, so first they need to get out of their own half. So the Swiss are doing more changes. They took Fabienne Ullmann out. She was the number 9 and they're putting Mu back in. Mu used to play 9 before she had a little baby break and now she's back on the team again. It's a scrum for Switzerland. The ref let them play advantage, but they didn't use it, so they're scrum.
Again, we're very close to the middle line, so this is still... It isn't particularly a comfortable zone, but it's a lot safer than being close to the try zone.
Yeah, in the middle zone, usually you can go in to contact, play a couple of times, try to get the defense involved. But it's not yet the scoring zone. The French team just stole the scrum. Oop. Switzerland has the ball back. But it's a penalty for France. I think Switzerland was offside or not rolling away from contact. I'm not sure. So French ball. I think they're going to go for the kick. Yeah.
With strong kickers, it's probably the nice thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, now it's a line out for France, just I think 5 meters, yeah, before the try zone.
Again, not a nice position to be in. The defense has to scramble and get it back together.
Yeah. As you see, the army team is really good in this rolling maul. And they were able to score a try with it.
So as of now, we have 41 points for the French army team.
Yeah, it's all, 41, 42, I think 42. But let's see now. Oh yeah, it's 41. You're right. Let's see if they can make the kick.
Let's see what the conversion brings now. We have number 10 from the French army team going for the conversion.
Oh, and he just hit the post. That was unlucky.
We're back in the middle again, this time after a very long play actually.
Yeah, actually it took the French quite a while now to score, which is a little improvement for Switzerland. And also I think both teams' coaches start making switches, so on both teams newer players are getting on the pitch, I guess. I mean, I don't know the French players, but usually you start with the strongest squad and then you start putting players in. And so I think from the Swiss side some newer players get the chance now to play as well.
We have a French scrum at hand right now. Am I seeing that correctly?
Yeah, it's French scrum in their own half. Good work by Switzerland. The Swiss scrum half put a lot of pressure on the French scrum half and they were able to steal the ball as soon as it got out of the scrum. So this means Switzerland is in the French half again, but that pass went into nowhere. Nice play back by the backs. The French defense is there on the spot every time though, and they were just able to steal the ball again from a tackling situation. Nice box kick over the top from the French player. Our fullback is under pressure. Nice step by our fullback. She decides to play. Big tackle from France. The Swiss need to get out of there, it's really dangerous there. And our quick player on the wing, oh, she's alone, support by outside centre.
France is doing a really good job on putting pressure on the Swiss team though.
Yeah, they're running up quick in defense and they're tackling really hard. If you watch them, every tackle brings a Swiss player to ground. So it's hard for the Swiss players to get through. Little kick, good decision by the Swiss number 10, Esti. The Swiss chasing now, they should reorganize their line, otherwise it's getting dangerous there on the left side. Ooh, not a good pass there, but she was still able. Oh, very good tackle from the Swiss fullback, and the French girl lost the ball out of bounds.
So we're having a Swiss line-out right now, another chance to get the ball out of the half.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the French team by points is up a lot, but the Swiss are staying in there. They're not putting their heads down. They're fighting for every meter and they're regaining ball a lot. And another change was made from the Swiss team. Another experienced player, number 6, Aida, left the pitch and they put another reserve into the game.
Test matches are a great chance for new players to get tested out in the field too, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good opportunity. It's the opportunity we have to use no matter who we are playing or what the score is, because as I said before, in Switzerland it's hard to play on a high level when we play each other, so we need to use these test matches to play stronger opponents, and also newer players need to practice on that level. A second penalty for Switzerland. The opposition wasn't back 10 meters, that's why we get another penalty.
Are we going in for a kick here?
Really nice kick from Switzerland, almost out of bounds, and now it's Swiss ball.
very good trying to catch a ball though.
Yeah. She was there, but she dropped it, so still had a ball.
It's a very quick game though.
Yeah, now, good hands by number 12. Good run too, right into the gap, but she lost the ball in contact. That's a shame. Dangerous. Oh, bad pass. Forward pass by France. So it's a Swiss scrum. Again in the French half, getting closer to the try zone.
We have almost 10 minutes left for this half. It's 41-0 for the French Army team.
And if you look on the scoreboard, Switzerland is doing a bit better in the second half than the first half. In the first half, the French team almost scored 30 points. So let's hope for the last 10 minutes Switzerland can score as well.
After all the fight they put up, it sure wouldn't be undeserved.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's great to see that both teams are giving their all though.
Yeah, you know, everyone keeps fighting. Again, a nice dummy by Switzerland in the back, and their strong wing goes for it. Let's hope they stay in the pitch. She got tackled out, so it's French ball there. You know, if you look at the backs plays from Switzerland, they have some good plays. They get a lot of ground, but all the way on the outside, the French are quick there in defense, and they get tackled a lot out wide. So they would need support quickly out there. Now it's a French line out.
The ball is in and
still ball for France. Ooh, knock on by France, so it's Swiss advantage. So a Swiss scrum right on the 22-meter line, close to the try zone. Hopefully they make something out of it. A bit before the game I also spoke to the manager of the French army team, and he told me like what's special about their team, because they are the army team. They fight like soldiers, and they are a beautiful promotion for the army in France.
Well, they sure show that they're not only beautiful but also know what they're doing on the field.
Yeah, exactly. They're really strong players. They know what they're doing. They're good at the standard situations. Clean passes, clean runs.
Oh, we're having another scrum here then.
Yeah, another scrum and another switch. So number 23 for Switzerland is coming on. I think number 7 came off. Yes, Holly came off. So because it's towards the end of the game and Switzerland won't be able to win this game, now at this point our coach can try everything out, give everybody some game time, let the people learn. It's a good chance to show what they can do.
Meanwhile, the French team seems to have switched in number 2 as well.
Yeah, I think they're probably doing the same thing, making all the switches that everybody can get game time. Again, one thing the Swiss are dominating seems like the scrum. They wheeled it around again. It's the 3rd or 4th time I think in this game.
That's true. That's very impressive. Is it a common thing for them to be wheeled around that often? Like when you play, when the Swiss team is playing, is that one of your specialties?
I wouldn't say so. It always depends a bit on the opposition scrum. But today it seems they are doing a great job at it. Again, Swiss scrum because the ball came out of the tunnel, so they can redo the scrum.
Come out of the tunnel, could you please explain that?
So you throw the ball in, the scrum half throws the ball in, and if it comes out at the place where you threw it in, you do the scrum again. French were able to steal the ball out of the scrum.
And one of the French kicks again.
Yeah, good catch by the Swiss winger 14 Henny. Attack from Switzerland. Good hands by Ramona. Go outside. She still has the ball, she didn't lose it. Now I think Switzerland should go on the right side. There is a lot of space. The French defense has to organize first. Let's see what they're doing. Penalty for Switzerland. They're going to try another kick because they're quite far away, but they're towards the middle. So let's see what number 11 does with it. Oh no, they're not going to kick for post. Sorry, they're going to go for the sideline. Good kick, and now they're about 5 meters before the line, or a bit more, and it's Swiss ball.
They found themselves in that position already quite a few times this game, and they put up a real good fight. So France had to push back a lot. Let's see what they can do at the end of the game when everyone is already a bit tired.
Yeah, let's see. I hope they win they get the ball, keep the ball in the line out, and that the backs can use it out wide. And Switzerland is making, I believe, their last swap. So another Monthey player, also her debut, number 17. It's her first time for the Swiss team on the pitch. So she's on for the last 5 minutes. That's good to see. She can show what she can do.
And again, the locals are very proud of their players.
Yeah, it's nice to have a good crowd out here. Also, the weather is perfect, so the support on the side is good. Good line out by Switzerland. They kept possession. Having a maul right now, I hope they can use it. And the ball is coming out to the backs. Let's see what they're doing with it. Another miss. Ooh. Bad pass there.
Back at the middle line again.
Swiss still has the ball, but they had some passing errors on the way and holding on to the ball, so it's a French penalty.
That was a very small kick they got on there.
It's only 3 more minutes, so I really hope the Swiss can get some points on the scoreboard.
Still French ball possession there.
Another penalty for the French team. Going into the 78th minute. About 2 minutes left. Good kick by the French team. They're getting closer to the try zone from Switzerland.
And the line out is theirs.
Good tackle by number 18 from Switzerland. Fighting for the ball in the rock. Switzerland regain position, hopefully they can keep it. Still Swiss ball. Kick. Ooh. The kick went out, but it's still really close.
And we have another French line out here.
Yeah. So I think the Swiss coaches will take many points out of this game to work on in the next half a year, that the Swiss team has time to prepare for the European trophy together and improve. Well done by number 17, Monthey girl, her first game today. She just stole the ball. So it must be just about end of the game, any minute now. Penalty for Switzerland, offside from France. Looks like they're not going to kick it this time because the game is almost over. They're going to play it. Good run from Angie. One of the experienced forwards from Switzerland. And Switzerland is now attacking the French defense line. They're running at them, not waiting. Really strong run by number 12.
Actually being pushed back quite a bit.
Yeah, number 12, Rohel, is a very strong runner. Usually the opposition has a hard time to get her to ground right away.
It's good to see that she's back on her feet again too.
Yeah, I'm happy she could keep playing in this game. Now another penalty for Switzerland, close. And they decided to play quick because the French weren't back 10 meters, so another penalty. Not much time left, so go Switzerland. Switzerland is attacking on the blind side. Pass, the player wasn't there quick enough. Another penalty for Switzerland, offside from France. They're playing quick now, they know the game could be over any minute. As long as they're in advantage, the referee cannot blow the game over. Still Swiss ball.
Still a chance to fight, and this already put a bit into the French half right now.
Yeah, they're doing good at the moment. Another penalty for them. They have to keep their head clear at the moment, play really smart, don't do any mistakes to get some points. Looks like the ref is giving a warning to the French team.
And we have another change right there. Out of medical reasons, isn't it?
I don't know.
I have the feeling that we already saw this change before, so it kind of been a fixed change.
Yeah, maybe she was out for blood. Substitution. Oh no! Switzerland just lost the ball with a other ball handling mistake. So the French could just kick it out and the game would be over, but looks like they want to play and they're out of bounds. And I think that's it. Big win for the French Army team, 41-0.
Yes, thank you very much, Carol, from the Swiss national team. The French Army team ladies wins. Thank you very much for watching. And at this point, the Swiss Rugby Federation would like to thank again DHL Express, their logistics partner, and for the Swiss 15 and 15 ladies. As well, they would like to thank Eco Services, official partner of the referees, and the official partners of of the national junior team's global breach partners, one of the main operators of exchanges and payments internationally. Furthermore, there goes a big thanks to Minerva Tutors, who enables young players with big ambitions to study abroad, and last but not least, there goes thanks to Ostal, official partner and equipment provider of the Swiss Rugby Federation. Thank you everyone for watching this match. Please stay tuned for the next one coming up. The male Swiss national team will be facing the Croatian national team. Special thanks go to the TRB Chemica, a new partner that enabled this live stream, as well as the live streaming team from the Zurich University of the Arts and their teachers, Mark Natman and Torben Jakobsen, who are enabling to film all of this right now. Thank you all for your attention. See you next half.